Hey guys, today is June 24th, 2019. Welcome to another episode of The Slatanist. My name is Luke, and this is our fourth episode, which means we've been doing this for a full month now, which I think is pretty cool because we have not done something for so long before. So if you have been listening from the first episode up until now, thank you all so much for your support. It's been great. And today we are going to be talking about what happened this past week in the horror world. And there has been a lot of things that has occurred throughout the week. So let's get straight into that. The first one, the biggest thing that happened, at least for me, is that James Wan, director of the Insidious franchise as well as the Conjuring franchise, the man just got engaged yesterday, which is, I think, is pretty cool, right? And he's been working with a lot of films. He was also at the premiere for Annabelle Comes Home, and he posted a photo about it 2 days ago. So he was at that premiere, and yesterday he announced that he was officially engaged. So yeah, congratulations to James Wan on getting engaged, and I think it's great, right? Like, to see him from his first movie where he made Saw to grow as a filmmaker up until now. It's pretty incredible, especially with Aquaman that did so well financially. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Alright, moving on. We watched Child's Play, the 2019 reboot of Child's Play. We watched it on Thursday, and that film, I thought initially that it would be like a really terrible film because that's the way it is with most reboots these days. However, I had a really good time with that movie. I'm actually brave enough to call it one of my favorite films of this year so far. It's really, really good and very surprising as well. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend that you do check it out. We also posted a review about it. We made a video and posted it onto our YouTube channel on Friday. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can do that and check out the video. It's been posted on Friday, and yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I really love the movie. Like, really, really love the movie. And one of my other friends, his name is Refi. He's part of Dark State Media as well. He's in charge of the Instagram pages as well as a lot of the video edits and graphic design work. He didn't like the movie for some reason. And we asked him about it. Apparently, he didn't follow, like, he hasn't seen the original Chucky movies by Don Mancini, so he didn't grow up with Chucky like me and Vinod did. So he didn't like it. So that to me spoke volumes, because for me, I felt that if you didn't grow up with Child's Play, with Chucky as your nightmare-infused demon at night, then you would probably not like this 2019 movie. And I know that's kind of sad because I absolutely had a blast with the movie. I thought it was really fun. It wasn't scary at all, but I really enjoyed for what it was, right? It's an enjoyable film. Highly recommend that you do support this. I'm gonna do whatever I can to defend this movie till my death because I really liked it. Like, I'm a huge fan of the 2019 Child's Play. But there's one small gripe though. I didn't like the doll's design. That was bullshit. Like, straight up, the design of Chucky was straight up trash. Like, it wasn't good. It looked like they rushed the whole character design, but that's understandable because the movie features this doll a lot. So as this movie progresses, you would kind of get used to how the doll looks, but still, it's not that gripping in a sense. Yeah, I didn't really like the doll. I think the doll was shit. The doll was complete shit. In comic book news, which has really nothing to do with horror, but I just wanted to talk about it because I thought that this is really, really interesting. Avengers Endgame is being re-released. I'm not sure when. I think it's in July. I'm not really sure as to when it's being re-released, but still, it is being re-released, and apparently one of the main reasons is that they want to beat Avatar's record and become the world's #1 highest grossing movie. Currently, Endgame is at $2.749 billion. It's number 2. Just a hair behind Avatar. Avatar is at 2.788 billion. So I think Marvel and Disney are gonna re-release Avengers Endgame so they can beat that record, and Endgame would be the world's number 1 movie. And I don't like it, right? Because for me, I feel like if you lost the battle, then you lost the battle. Just accept and move on, right? That would be the logical thing to do. Because what happened with Avatar, I know Avatar as well, throughout its runtime that it had its cinematic release, it was also re-released several times, once in 3D, then they had the, the extended director's cut, and then when it got nominated for an Oscar, it got re-released again. So it summed up to 2.788 billion. And Titanic at that point, before Avatar came out, Titanic was leading. Titanic was at 2.187, so it made 2.78. That's significantly more, right? So it made sense for them to be number 1, as well as Avatar was that incredible cinematic experience that actually immersed you into the film that you wouldn't get if you didn't watch it in cinemas. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience kind of film. And Endgame, for one, it's not that kind of movie, right? It's just a comic book movie. I mean, it's not a bad movie per se. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it for what it was, despite its flaws and all that. I can oversee the flaws to have a good watching experience, and Avengers did give that. But to like compare it to Avatar, I think Avengers is miles below Avatar in terms of what it did for the movie industry. And that's very, very debatable. I can see that backfiring on me so bad, because I know for the comic book world, Avengers Endgame is a big deal. It's a very big deal, actually. For Marvel as a company, for what they have established since 2008, this has come full circle, and Endgame is the end of that era. So I get that, right? I get that sentiment value, but I don't agree with what they're trying to do now, especially with re-releasing this just so they can make money. It sounds more like a cash grab more than anything else, and yeah, I'm not gonna support this. And if you do like the movie, then yeah, by all means, go ahead and support. Apparently, the movie will have like several deleted scenes included. It's called deleted scenes, so why have it in a re-release? I don't get it. For me, I feel like it's just a blatant cash grab that shouldn't happen, but it's happening because welcome to Hollywood, I guess. In other comic book news, Matt Reeves' Batman, that is now being starred by Robert Pattinson. The movie has several rumors coming up because now, I think they're gonna begin shooting really, really soon. But there has been latest news that has surfaced up that apparently the film will be based on The Long Halloween by Joseph Loeb. I hope I'm saying that right. Loeb. I'm not sure how you say that name. If you guys know, put it down in the comments below. But yeah, it's gonna be based on that. As well as there's another news circulating that apparently the film will take place in a single night. So it's one night alone where Batman is already the Batman basically, and he's gonna take down criminals. Apparently there's someone being killed. So someone is going on a murder spree and people are being killed. So it's Batman's job to fully investigate this case and find out who's behind these murders. And I feel that's a very interesting take for a Batman movie because for one, it shows Batman being a detective because that's what he is. And this has never been shown in a lot of the Batman films. I mean, there was like a little bit with the Zack Snyder movies. Christopher Nolan on The Dark Knight, that was a little bit like he just like breezed through that point. So in that sense, I think it's really cool to see a Batman movie where he's full-on detective, and plus he's also already Batman, which means they can skip over the whole Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed and his whole origin stories and just start the movie like he's already Batman, similarly to what they did with the Snyder movies, right? In BVS, like Batman was already Batman, so you can skip over the origins. But even in that movie, right, the opening credits started out with Batman's origin. So how many times do we want to see Bruce Wayne's parents killed? At this point, it sounds almost like a blatant cliche, like similarly to what we see with the Spider-Man movies, right? There has been 3 Spider-Mans now in every film except for the Marvel ones. The Marvel ones, they like breezed through the Spider-Man's origins. He was already Spider-Man, but we saw it twice so far with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man as well as the Mark Webb Spider-Man. They both go through the same origin stories, which becomes kind of annoying at that point because like we already know Spider-Man's origins, and the same thing happened with Batman. So for them to go in this route of following a story that happens in one night with Batman already being Batman, I think that would be the smart way to go, and I'm really looking forward to this movie. I'm not looking forward to Robert Pattinson playing Batman because I don't know how would that be. However, that being said, remember when Heath Ledger was first cast as the Joker and everyone went nuts because he was known as the actor at that point for being the actor in Brokeback Mountain, and everyone was like giving him shit like he's a bad casting for the Joker and all that. And then we saw the pictures that came out when they had those promo shoots and all that. And then everyone just shut up straight because once you see those main pictures, then you know how he's gonna look in the film, and that changed everyone's minds. So I think for me, I would have to see that kind of picture of Robert Pattinson as the Batman for me to fully decide. But for now, I'm not completely sold yet, and I don't really like Robert Pattinson because of what he. I don't. It's not that I don't like Robert Pattinson, right? He might be a really cool guy for all I know, but because he's been known as that vampire dude from Twilight, I really cannot see him play anything else. It's like stuck in my mind because I hated those Twilight movies. Also, side note, I'll be doing a review of those films in the coming weeks, so look out for that. But yeah, I really cannot see Robert Pattinson doing anything else other than being a creepy vampire that likes a younger girl. I don't know lah, but I'm really hoping for this movie to be good because it's Batman, right? And I'm a huge fan of Batman, so if I can also see, in a sense, like when they do this whole movie that's taking place in one night, it reminds me a little bit of the Arkham games, especially Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Like they both take place on one night. Wait, Arkham Asylum, yeah. I don't know if you've played Arkham Asylum, but it's one of the best Batman games to ever come out. And people would debate that, saying Arkham City is the better game, which, yeah, it is. But in story-wise, Arkham Asylum had the stronger story as opposed to City. City was a bit more complex, which at times could seem a little like there were a lot of filler elements in Arkham City. But Arkham Asylum was just very focused, right? It's point A to point B, and it's very straight up, and it also takes place in one night. So I feel if they would do a Batman movie that's based on the Arkham games, that would be sick, like straight up. Plus then Robert Pattinson would be wearing the suit the whole time, so we don't have to see his face because he'll be wearing the mask. So that would help, like really help and sell the movie. But I would watch that, like instead of seeing his face, I would just see the mask. So that'd be cool if they can do that. All right, moving on. Blumhouse Pictures or Productions, what is it called? I think it's Blumhouse Pictures. I'm not sure what it's called. So they announced Halloween 2, the sequel to 2018's Halloween, to be released in, I think it's being released in 2020, I think. Let me check for you. Yep, it's going to be released in October 2020, distributed by Universal Pictures. So I really like that because the 2018 Halloween did bring back a lot of the classic elements from John Carpenter's Halloween, the 1978 one. So, and this 2018 film was a direct sequel to the 1978 movie, and now it's a third one. So I think that's the smart way to go, right? And also the actress, I forgot her name, if I can find her name. Jamie Lee Curtis is set to reprise her role as the main character in Halloween. So I think that would be really cool. And there's another news, I'm trying to look it up now as I'm talking to you. There's another news going on that Rob Zombie, he made a Halloween movie back in the day, right? But not that long ago. I think it was in 2009, somewhere there. Hold on, let me just get the actual facts so I'll give more context to you guys. Rob Zombie's Halloween was on 2007. So apparently there's another news circulating that Rob Zombie is gonna make another Halloween movie, and that one would be Halloween 3. So apparently there'll be like 2 different Halloween movies coming out. One that's an official sequel to a 1978 movie, and then there'll be a remake, the Rob Zombie's Halloween. So there'll be like 2 separate universes going on at the same time. Apparently now Michael Myers is like Iron Man and Flash and some shit, right? Where there's like multiverse of Michael Myers, which I think is really cool. It'd be pretty interesting to see that, because then we will have different takes on the same character, which would benefit us as fans because we get more content, so we can choose what we want. So it'd be an interesting time to live in, I think. I mean, for now there is Child's Play, which just recently came out, so it's not a big competition to Halloween. It's not as big of a icon in the horror world. It's pretty big, but not as big as Michael Myers, right? So I would wish that there was a Friday the 13th movie getting rebooted, and that could go alongside Halloween. So then they will have competition. If there's more competition, means the directors will make better movies, and if it's better movies, it's better for the fans, because we would get more films, and that's great. But we'll have to see how the lawsuit, because Friday the 13th is currently going through a lawsuit where they cannot make Friday the 13th movies because apparently the main creator of Jason is not allowing filmmakers to use his character or something like that. I'll put a link down below so you could read the whole content, but it's pretty messy. So I really hope that they can get that settled so that we can have Friday the 13th movies being released alongside Halloween. And that'll be a great October for us, right? Like every year we'll have like Halloween and Friday the 13th. Now there's Child's Play as well. So Child's Play is doing really well, so that will definitely get a sequel. So there'll be like 3 main franchises going alongside at the same month. That'd be really, really cool. Like, it'd be great. I would love that, actually. And finally, Brahms, The Boy 2. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the movie, the 2016 movie called The Boy. I thought it's absolute shit. Like, it's a bad movie. I don't know why they even greenlit a sequel for that film. But it's being made, and apparently it was supposed to come out in summer in the US. I think summer should be around August-ish. And there's new news that has surfaced. Apparently the film has been pushed back to a December release. I don't know for what, actually. Let me check the article. Unaware of the terrifying history of the Hellshire Mansion, a young family... Okay, this is just a synopsis, alright? That has nothing to do with that. So I don't know why the movie is being pushed back to December. I gotta say maybe because of shooting schedules or something like that. But normally when a movie gets pushed back like that, it usually means that the film is being edited heavily and it's actually going through a lot of changes, as opposed to films being pushed forward. Like, there has been a few movies like Suicide Squad, right? It was supposed to come out in, I think it was October, but then it got pushed to an August release, which was earlier, which means they had so much confidence in the movie, and then the movie was rushed, and then we got like I don't know, man, Suicide Squad was shit. So I'm not trying to compare this to Suicide Squad, because this is being pushed back as opposed to being pushed forward. So hopefully they know what they're doing and trying to make like a better horror movie, because The Boy 2016 it started out really creepy, right? It started out being a doll horror movie, kind of like Chucky and Annabelle and that sort of things. When the doll movies were being a thing, that's when The Boy came out, so they wanted to cash in on that. And the movie was pretty bad, like really bad. It was a lot of jump scares and very cliche plot. It was very, very predictable. You can kind of know what's happening. And they had one surprise element towards the end where it reveals Brahms, the boy, coming out from... He apparently lives in the walls of the house. I don't know, man. Like how does he go and take a shit? I don't know. So yeah, now they're making a sequel starring Katie Holmes. So hopefully the movie is good. I'm only hoping for movies to be better, right? You don't hope for a movie to be shit, right? You just don't. You want to hope that the filmmakers, because there's a team of people behind every movie, right? There's a director, a crew, people that put in a lot of work to make a film. So you can only hope that the movie does well. And I'm hoping Brahms the Boy 2 does well. Now that it's being pushed to December, they have more time to work on their film. So I really, really hope that the movie will be good and not a crappy one. But we'll have to see. Right? But from my experience from the first Boy movie, I'm not really keen to see The Boy 2, but I will check it out definitely because it's horror, and having a horror movie released in December that's not related to Christmas is kind of risky. So I think maybe The Boy 2 might take place in during Christmas, right? For all I know. What do I know, right? Because I don't know what the movie's about. So if it does take place during Christmas, then we'll have another Christmas horror movie, which is always nice. Another addition to the Gremlins and that sort of films, which is really cool. Talking about Christmas horror movies, I highly recommend checking out this film called Better Watch Out. Not a lot of people have seen it, but if you want a good Christmas horror movie, check out Better Watch Out. Really nice movie. The actress in the film, I watched another movie the other day and she was in it. Let me check the actress's name real quick. Secret Game. Oh, sorry. She acted in The Visit. There we go. M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. So she was the girl that is part of the two siblings that goes to the place. So the girl, she's the main protagonist in Better Watch Out, and it's a really nice film. It's like, think Home Alone. It's like Mythbusters for Home Alone. Like they test out those things that Macaulay Culkin, I hope I'm saying that right, Macaulay Culkin, something like the main guy, Kevin. They test out a lot of his skills, not a lot, like the main one, the paint bucket kill. You know, he ties the paint bucket to the stairs and it chops it and it hits the guy's face for jokes in the film. So in this movie, in Better Watch Out, what they do is they take that same element, they test it on another person and see if someone can survive that, basically. Check it out, it's really cool. Highly recommend it. And so that's all the time I have for you guys today. Like, I'm trying to make this show right now into like a new show where I can just have a good little conversation, very minimal edit, so it'd be something very natural to do. So that has been today's test run for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Also, if you guys are fans of the website, this week we are actually starting to roll out our brand new content, our brand new format for the content that we post onto the site. So if you are a fan of the site, do check the website out at www.darkslatemedia.com and go through it, right? Later today we'll have some content rolling in throughout this whole week, so be sure to be on the lookout for that, and support us by following us on all of our social medias at Dark Slate Media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Medium, basically almost every social media we're kind of on there. Check us out and support us if you can, and I highly appreciate it. Also tweet me at Dark Slate Media, tell me how this episode was, if you guys enjoyed it or not, and I'll see you guys next week where we will talk about more horror news that has happened in this week, basically. So I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great week ahead, and always remember that you're never alone when watching a horror movie. Bye bye.